Hey, everybody, welcome to this episode of The Spark. I'm Coach David. Hope you're doing great today. Hope that everything is moving in the right direction for you and that you are up and at it, getting after it. I always say it, you are the architect of your life, which means this simply you get to design, build, and live the life that you desire. So, since you have that power, that inherent power to do that, you might as well make it the best life that you possibly can. So, I hope that on this week, I'll give you something that's going to help you make your life better. Last week, we began to talk about mental toughness. And in particular, we said there are 4 C's of mental toughness. Now, we started out by saying, hey, mental toughness is the ability to stay focused, stay confident, and composed even under pressure. And a lot of times when we are going through different things, whether it be competition, we be working in the corporate world, or whatever the case may be, we're going to face some pressure at times. But we have that mental toughness where we can stay focused, where we can stay confident, we can stay composed, even when the pressure is coming against us. We said that it was your mental edge, and it allows you to do certain things. One, you're going to push through fear, fatigue, and frustration. When those attack you, you will be able to just push through this thing. Not saying that it won't phase you, because it may, but however, knowing that you have mental toughness on your side as your mental edge, you're going to push through. We also said that it will cause you to stay process focused over outcome focused. A lot of times what happens, we start looking at the end and the outcome and what we desire, and we forget about the journey, the process. And so I want to encourage you on today that you stay with the process over the outcome. And what I've learned in that, if you'll do that, your outcome will be better than you could even imagine or think. Then also, mental toughness helps us maintain a belief in ourselves and in our team. So we may be with a team of people that we work with, or a team of people that we play with, a team of people that we do things with. We have to understand that we got to have a belief, first of all, in ourselves, and we got to believe in our team. I say it like this: believe in yourself, trust yourself. Believe in your team, trust your team. And then we also said mental toughness is going to help us bounce back quickly when we have mistakes or setbacks, as we sometimes will. In life, you're going to face some mistakes. In life, you're going to face some setbacks. But the truth of the matter is that mental toughness will help bounce back. What we call resiliency will help you bounce back very quickly and keep moving forward. So we kind of got it going there. And we said there are 4 C's to that. Now, we said that, first of all, what we have to understand, mental toughness is a mindset that turns pressure into performance. In other words, I have this mindset, and when the pressure comes on, I understand that my mental toughness is going to stand up because of my mindset, and I am going to perform. I gave you the 4 C's. Last week, we talked about control, and we said that we were learning to control the things that we can control. Well, this week, I got another great C for you. It's called commitment. Oh, boy. Now, I love this subject, and the reason why I love this subject is because learning that you can control certain things and also being committed, boy, it takes you a long way in that mental toughness. So let's go ahead and define what commitment is so that we all are operating from the same line of thought, and then we can move forward. All right, so commitment. Here's the key word: consistent choice. It is the consistent choice to do what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like it. I'm going to say that one again because that is powerful. The consistent, that's a key word, the consistent choice to do what needs to be done, even and especially when you don't feel like it. Now, there are days when you don't feel like being committed to the gym. There are days you don't feel like being committed to work. There are days you don't feel like being committed to anything. But the truth of the matter is, with that consistent choice to be committed and do the things that need to be done, even when you don't feel like it, you are developing and building your mental toughness. Sometimes it's not easy. I get it. It's not easy to do the things that you committed to do. I know sometimes that initial excitement and motivation, it just wears off. But Because I am a committed person, I made a choice not based on it being easy, not based on the motivation or any of that. I made a decision that when I started this thing, I was committed. I always say it like this: I was in it to win it. I'm committed to this thing. And so, because of that, I understand there are going to be times when I don't feel like it. There are going to be times when I'm not excited about it. There are going to be times when it's not easy. But because of the decision I made, the consistent choice to do what needs to be done, I can continue to move forward in that. So you have to kind of get that grasp of that definition, that it's a consistent choice. What do I mean by consistent? Day after day after day, I do those things that need to be done. And there are going to be days when I'm going to wake up and I'm not going to feel like it. There's going to be days when I'm not going to feel like going to the gym. There's going to be days when I'm not going to feel like going to work. It's a good thing that I can operate beyond my feelings. I say it like this when I coach my kids. I said, there are many times you're not going to feel like it initially. But if you get here and get started doing the things that you have committed to do, your feelings will line up. So the commitment is not about the days when you feel strong anyway. It really isn't. The best days for commitment, and where commitment is proven, is on the days when you don't feel strong about it. That's when you know that you're locked in, that you're committed. Commitment is dedication. It's being dedicated. It's being devoted to a certain course of action, an activity, or whatever you said that you were going to do, you're being committed to it. Commitment is not an emotion, because, see, our emotions, one minute we're up, one minute we're down. Sometimes we're with it, other times we're not with it. Commitment is not an emotion. So you got to get beyond the emotional charge. Commitment is about follow through. I said that I was going to do it. I committed to do it. I am going to get it done. Why? Why am I going to do that? Because now I'm not acting on emotion. I'm not acting on the hoopla and the hoorah. I'm acting on my values and my goals. I said I would. I said, this is something I value. This is something I've set for a goal. And I am not going to let my mood or my attitude change that. So what is all going on here? When you get committed, listen to me closely. When you get committed, it means you show up every day, not just on the good days, because there are going to be some good days and there may be some challenging days. There may be some days when you just don't feel like it. I mean, that's just it. You just don't feel like it. But I'm committed, because remember, I said this was a consistent choice that I made to do what needs to be done, even when I don't feel like it, even when I don't feel 100%, even when I don't always feel 100%. My body may be tired. My body may be achy, but I made a commitment. I have values. I have goals, and it's not based on anything other than my values and my goals and my follow through and what I said I would do. So I show up every day. I show up on the days when it's not so good. I show up on the bad days. I just show up. I am committed. I am consistently doing what I said I was going to do. Here's what else. Another thing that commitment is. Commitment means I'm going to stick to my process. What do you mean by that? You should have a set process. And if you will develop a set process, when pressure arises, and it's going to, when the pressure comes, you're going to be able to stick to it. Get you a process. This is my process. I get up in the morning. I do this. I do this. I do this. Why? Because I understand process, my system as it is very important to me being consistent. Now, that's pretty interesting. I have a system that keeps me consistent. And my consistent choice day by day by day, my commitment is going to ensure that I follow that process, follow that system, and the outcome is going to be beautiful. Now, what else is commitment? Commitment means I'm satisfied or finish the task that I do. I satisfy those. I don't get into something and get halfway and say, oh no, that's it, I'm done and everything. No, 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 no. I am going to satisfy, I am going to finish the task fully. This is not halfway. This is not, the other half thing. This is me saying, guess what? I am committed to this. I made a decision, and it's a good thing that I made the decision to be committed before I hit this rough spot. Because when I hit this rough spot, if I haven't made what I call a determined committed, a calculated commitment to this, boy, I'm subject to turn away from it. If it's a casual commitment, you may not stick. If it's a camaraderie commitment, that means that if you do it, I'll do it. That's why you have to be very careful of who you link yourself up to in a commitment. Because what if they get halfway and they decide, nah, I'm quitting? Well, if you're committed only by camaraderie, then you're going to quit too. So you have to make a commitment for yourself. I mean, it's great that you got somebody that wanted to do it with you. Let's talk about that for a minute. It's great that you got somebody that says, hey, I'm going to the gym with you every day. But what happens on the morning when they wake up and they don't feel like it? If it's a camaraderie commitment, you are going to do exactly what they did. If it is a calculated commitment, you are going to get yourself up, irregardless of what they do, and you're going to get yourself dressed and you are moving on. Commitment says, I satisfy and I finish it fully. I'm not doing this halfway. Here's another thing that commitment says. Commitment says, I stay the course by doing what I said I would do long after my feelings are gone. Oh, yeah. When we first start something, we're all hyped about it. We're like, yeah, let's get after it. Let's go do this. But then what I call when the grind comes on, when the grind shows up, a lot of times we'll be like, oh, my God, we start getting into drudgery. But wait a minute. You made a commitment. You said that I was going to finish this. You said, hey, no matter what, I'm in it to win it. And I am going all the way. And so because of that, it doesn't matter what I feel right now, because I understand that when I get going, I get more on my way than when I first started. And because of that, my commitment, I'm locked in. I'm in it to win it, and I will see it all the way to the end. So commitment means I show up every day. Commitment means I stick to my process and my system. Commitment means I finish fully, not halfway, what I committed to do. And it means I stay the course long after all that motivation and that hoorah stuff is gone. Okay. So with that understanding, here's what happens. A lot of times motivation gets you started. That's an emotion though. And I said that commitment was not an emotion. Commitment is what keeps you going long after the motivation or the energy or the hype is gone. Commitment is how you feel. It's not how you feel. Excuse me. Commitment is not how you feel. It's what you are becoming. It's what you said you would do. You said, I'm going to do it, and you are going to get it done. So get out of your feelings. That's the biggest thing you can do when it comes to commitment, because there are going to be days when you don't feel like it. So what I want to wrap this up with, I want to give you what I call commitment crushers. Those things that will hurt your level of sustainment in commitment if you allow it. But I'm going to show you how to overcome it. So here's the first one. A lot of times we're waiting to feel motivated. Okay. How many times have you heard somebody say, man, I would go to the gym, but I'm just not motivated to do it? Well, look, there's going to be times when you're not going to feel motivated to do it. And, if I think about it, if I had to get up and get dressed, go to the gym, I'm going to be sore. I'm going to be tired. I'm going to be sweaty. I'm going to be hot. Yeah, all of those things could say, you know what? I ain't motivated to do this. But remember this. This is how you overcome this. I do this because I said I would. I do this because I have values and goals that I am attaining. It doesn't have anything to do with feeling motivated. So that's crusher number one. Commitment crusher number one is waiting to feel motivated. I just showed you how to overcome that. You don't need motivation to get up and to do what you said you were going to do. You need that commitment. Here's the second one, perfectionism. Okay. So if I can't get it right, if I can't be perfect about it, then I'm just not going to do it at all. Well, let me share something with you on how to overcome that. Consistency over performance. What do I mean by that? Yeah, we want a great performance. Yes, we do. But I have learned that if I practice correctly, consistently, I will get better. I didn't say I wasn't going to make some mistakes. I didn't say I wasn't going to have some hiccups in there, but I understand that consistency will carry me and get me to my destination. I just got to be consistent. I just got to continue to do what I know to do what's important now over and over and over and over again, and I am going to get that superior performance that I'm looking for. Why? Because I'm practicing consistently, correctly all the time. I have to get better. But if I give up because it's not coming together, if I give up, then I'm never going to get where I need to get. So that crusher number 2, that commitment crusher number 2, that perfectionism, you got to let it go. You got to understand that I'm just going to stay with it, and I will master this. I will get better at this. I will have a better performance if I stay with it. And then here's the third and final one. The third and final one is you don't have a system. You don't have a routine. You don't have a process. And so every day you're out there changing it daily, mixing it up and trying to figure it out and all of this. Get you a routine. That's how you overcome this. Get you a system that works. Get you a process that works for you. And when you get that, man, now you got something. So when the motivation is gone and when you don't feel like it and when it's cold outside, when it's raining, whatever the case may be, this is my process. I'm following and sticking to my process. So I just gave you 3 ways to crush those commitment crushers. I just showed you how to crush them. If you'll apply this, my call to action to you, apply it. Listen, you made the commitment. Now follow through. Because you know what? Coach David believes in you. I know you'll get the job done. I know that if you say, hey, look here, these are my values, these are my goals, this is what I said I'm going to do, I am going to get it done. You know what? In the Bible, it talks about, it says, which of you intending to build a tower, setteth not down first. Don't you sit down and you calculate this and see if you have what it takes to get the job done. And if you do, then when the time comes, when it gets tough, when it gets hot, when you get tired, when you get sad, when you get upset, when you get challenged, you know how to stay committed because you calculated it before you ever began. Boy, I hope this has helped you on today. I don't know if it did you any good, but it definitely helped me on today. So I want to encourage you with that on today to get out there, get after it, stay committed. That's where mental toughness is at. The mentally tough are committed even when it's not going their best. And they're not all up happy about it and everything. They just stay committed. Look, I'm going to get out of here. I've taken enough of your time on today. I trust that I've helped you with this. Listen, do me a big, big favor. Share this with someone. Put it out there so everybody can have an understanding of what it really means to be committed. I was talking to my daughter earlier this week, and she was sharing with me some things that are going on. And I said, listen, I said, people are looking for committed people. And so when they find them, they're going to do everything they can to hold on to them. So you be that committed person that somebody's looking for. But remember this right here. Remember, you are the architect of your life. Commit to it. And also remember this. I'm Coach David. I believe you're committed, and I believe in you. I'll see you on next week. You have a great one. Have a great week all week long. Be committed. Bye.